My name is H.A. Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, and journalist, and to read all my writing and my views on politics, sports, a whole bunch of topics, go to counterpropa.com. My latest article on counterpropa is now on Yahoo Politics, or Yahoo shared the article, and in the Huffington Post, and it's Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. FBI reviewed Flynn's calls with Russian ambassador, but found nothing illicit. There was nothing wrong with my last the title of my last segment. Watch the segment again to certain individuals who say, he just resigned. Oh, he just resigned. Did I say he was going to stay forever? I would like him to stay. He's actually a stand-up individual. I don't agree with Trump, but Michael Flynn was the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under President Obama. He was great then. Why isn't he great now? When President Obama appointed him head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, did the Washington Post, did anybody, have a whole condemn President Obama? No, because he was outspoken for Trump, the media had it out for Michael Flynn. I will read you exactly what the last segment is titled. For the people who are saying, oh, you said he wouldn't resign. Watch the video again. I never said he wouldn't resign. I said that he's being unfairly targeted by the media. That's the truth. FBI reviewed Flynn's calls with Russian ambassador, but found nothing illicit. I will put the link below. January 23rd, 2017. The FBI in late December reviewed intercepts of communication between the Russian ambassador to the United States and retired Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn, National Security Advisor to then President-elect Trump, but has not found any evidence of wrongdoing or illicit ties to the Russian government, U.S. officials said. Okay, the Washington Post publishes this. Now Michael Flynn resigned, primarily because of a feud with Pence. So the media is now in love with Pence? How is this convoluted set of allegiances or story, narrative? It's all over the place. It is fake news, by the way, because there's no Russian hacker emails. So again, I was right in the last segment, the title. Where are the Russian hacker emails? I don't care if anonymous officials within the intelligence community who work for President Obama, who say that Russia hacked the election when they hacked the DNC, apparently. WikiLeaks denies it. There are no Russian hacker emails, so it's all fake news unless you provide some evidence. Which gets me to people say, oh, you're always wrong. About what? About Clinton losing? I was one of the few people who talked about that. Few people who warned the world that Hillary would lose to Trump. How many people warned the liberal political establishment? Me, perhaps a couple of other people. 538 didn't even think that Trump would become a Republican nominee. So there's certain individuals, don't tell me I'm always wrong. And I didn't even predict that Flynn would stay forever as National Security Advisor. He should, because the whole Russian conspiracy nonsense baloney is fake news. There is no Russian involvement. There's every country, we do the same thing to Russia. All these countries do the same thing to each other. We've hacked something like around 80 elections in the past 40 years. That was an NPR, something around 80. In terms of General Flynn, he resigned because he didn't apparently give Vice President Pence the accurate assessment of his discussion with the Russian ambassador. And apparently he spoke about President Obama's sanctions. With that logic or rationale, for him to resign, Henry Kissinger should have been in jail for the rest of his life. He committed treason in 1968 by sabotaging the peace talks with North and South Vietnam. That is well documented. So General Flynn then goes and has a discussion with a Russian, and then somebody within the acting attorney general says, oh, well, he could be blackmailed, but Hillary is okay to be president of the United States with 20% of U.S. uranium sold to the Kremlin while the Podesta group was lobbying on behalf of Uranium One, and money was funneled to the Clinton Foundation from Uranium One officials? Give me a break. Give me your thoughts below. The last segment is still valid. I was arguing that he shouldn't, that there's a complete, the whole thing was media spin and fake news, which it is. He did resign. I never said he wasn't going to resign. He did resign tonight, but he resigned because of really nonsense. So now the media is backing up Pence because they love Mike Pence and they want somebody who's loyal to Trump, or they want somebody to keep Obama's sanctions against Russia because that's good for the United States, because Russia hacked the DNC, and the DNC still hasn't fixed all the corruption within its political party. Give me your thoughts below. If you think that my views or my predictions or the clickbait titles are too much for your sensibilities, there's always InfoWars with their fantastic titles, or the fantastic way they title their segments, or people on the left with the same type of manner of explaining what they're going to talk about. What happened with General Flynn is an example of a 1950s McCarthy era political and media attack. If you don't realize that, this is not about Trump. If anything, Trump did a horrible thing by succumbing to media pressure. This is about an individual who had a discussion with a Russian ambassador. If he discussed Obama's sanctions, that happens in every administration. It's not 20% of U.S. uranium being sold. Give me your thoughts below. What happened to General Flynn was wrong. And the whole thing with Mike Pence, that's an issue within that administration. Has nothing to do with a media victory. Has nothing to do with Michael Flynn, other than he should have obviously disclosed the information more accurately to Pence, but that's between them. No laws were broken, whereas laws were broken with Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party pertaining to Bernie. Maybe not laws, but people resigned. Give me your thoughts below. If this is too complicated for you and you have to unsubscribe, I understand. Thank you so much for listening.